20s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me. Fiddle again, and hello, it's Fo, and welcome back to Project Zomboid. Our man Ramos Ravioli has woken up at 6 AM. It's a little foggy outside, judging by what we can see of the weather. Gonna read for a little bit. Yeah, the fog is certainly rolling in. Tends to get worse before it gets better. Don't really want to be going out in that. Quite easily get jumped. Usually dissipates by 11 or 12. Good opportunity on for us to catch up on our reading before we go back out adventuring. Now that we've sorted all the food, we're just left raiding buildings and houses, looking for cool loot and building supplies, so we can work more on the base. Got to manage all this food that we've got. Again, we'll use our bowl to make up a nice salad full of stale ingredients. Got to try and use different things. The effects are less if you're using the same ingredients just over and over. And obviously it doesn't provide much nutrition. But if we start losing weight, we can certainly bulk up. I'm sure we've still got some ice cream. Yeah, some foods are fattier than you think, and others not so much. So we've certainly got plenty to go through. Don't think he's going to starve anytime soon, especially with all these crops he's growing. It's good if we can swiftly get through the skill books before the next harvest. Get the maximum XP. Yeah, we'll steal the water from the sink before we steal the sink. Be efficient. Make sure our water bottle is always fully topped up. Yeah, your character will automatically drink from a water bottle if it's in their main inventory. Even if you choose the high thirst trait to get some points in the beginning, you can just have 2 water bottles on you. And by the time you're making rain collectors, you can make loads of them. You'll have stashed enough garbage bags, presuming you know to take them on your rounds as you work up your carpentry skill to the point that you can make the big rain collector barrels. You can make smaller ones at a lower level of carpentry. Ideally you want to hold out as long as the water doesn't go off on you prematurely, so you can get the bigger ones. Yeah, we could have taken high thirst and high hunger, whatever it's called, extra hungry. He's certainly got enough food, and he will have enough water once the rains start filling up all these water collectors he's making. The traps sometimes break, especially if you don't check them often enough. If there's an animal in there for too long, I think they'll effectively escape and break the trap. We don't want to take away too many of these trees, because we do want cover. for the animals to sneak in and jump into the traps. It is tempting to use the nearest trees to just chop down to get all the planks we're going to need. But we should really go further afield. Keep some natural cover to the base. I'm going to add these escape ropes at the corners. Should we need to make a hasty getaway. Yeah, an abundance of caution is a good thing. So yeah, we're working on it. Just need to get the planks. Do have plenty of nails. Could always do with more. It's an incentive to keep going out and looting. There's plenty of houses dotted around in the countryside. Sort of outskirts of Riverside. Plenty of places for us to explore yet. Even once we've got through the main town. There's plenty more things to disassemble. To get the materials if we're doing it the hard way. Yeah, hopefully we'll just find a whole bunch of nails. Some decent axes. Some wood axes. That are purpose built for chopping down trees. If we empty out these water containers, then we should be able to pick them up. We should have high enough carpentry skill. It should be a success, and we're not going to break them in half. That's 2 we won't need to make. Yeah, you can leave the cooking pots and things like that outside to catch the rainwater. But you can't drink it because it's tainted. You can use it to water your crops. But if we use the system of putting the rain collector barrels on the roof, and then a sink directly below it, and then plumb it in, it filters the water as it makes it down into the sink somehow. Yeah, it's good for plants. They don't mind. Not fussy about the water they get. So yeah, we'll try to save as much of this food that's going stale before it goes rotten. When we do inevitably end up with something that goes rotten, we can hopefully turn it into fertilizer for our plants. So it's of some use. You can see the stats of how much happiness it's going to give you. You become unhappy and bored if you're eating just stale food. Yeah, mixing it up in the bowl makes it exciting. Let's give them an opportunity to bin any bits that are going. Weight is still going up. The salad should curb it. Not getting that much calories from that. Don't want to be overweight. It's just as bad as being underweight. Yeah, this is the motel. Plenty of rooms but not much in them. Plenty of beds for disassembly if we really need to. Yeah, at least we know this bar tap is facing the right way, so we'll be able to add it to our bar. Got to put more finishing touches to our bar. Do want to get more metalworking XP. And more metal sheets for the walls of our base. And these big metal objects are the best way. Dumpsters and crash cars and things. Yeah, not all wrecked looking cars are dismantleable. Some of them are just in really poor condition after a crash or whatever. But if you can't get in them, you can't get in the boot or whatever. That usually means that they're disassemblable. And we'll have to use a bit of brute force. Come in through the back. Pick up any of this food. Obviously non-perishable stuff. Anything that once was fresh certainly isn't anymore. Yeah, doorknobs and hinges and things, we'll take them. After the effort of breaking down the door. He certainly earned them. It means that we can make our base more complicated, the more doors and layers that we can add. Section everything off into little compartments. Help us separate the loot into different zones. Have everything in its own sort of containers. There's a lot of loot. Raiding a large area. Still only a small percentage of the game's overall map size that we're going to be exploring. Even doing the greater Riverside area. Maybe 10%, maybe about that. Even less when playing the next version of the game, where they've added more areas. Working on our metal walls. It's more likely we'll run out of propane before we run out of opportunities to dismantle things and make metal walls with the sheets. Yeah, our bar's looking better and better. More room that we can put all these different kinds of liquids, basically. Got the soft drinks and all the alcohol. Plenty of room for more. Yeah, everything's separated out into its own container. All the different things all together. Just keep working on getting different cabinets and containers and things, so we can store more and more stuff. Slowly separate all the items, so everything's got its own little place. As we keep expanding our way out, gonna turn this place into an awesome fort. He's reading away. Getting that XP boost. Making his salads. He's pretty tired, so no evening adventure for him. As I say, he wants to get the book finished as a priority before he has to harvest any more plants. Just get that maximum XP. Complete as many skills as possible in the time that we've got. Obviously won't get through everything. We'll see what we can do. Once he finishes a skill, we'll get him a mod. Something to make his life easier. Hopefully we can get the mod where you can actually sit down on the chairs and lay down on the bed. That's about the only thing that I say is missing from this version of the game. Be fully immersive once they fix that one little thing. Yeah, the new version of the game, build 42, you can sit on the chairs. And that was the only thing I thought was kept it from being a perfect game, you know? So we get him to read till the end of the day. Get him to sleep. Bang on 10, see if he wakes up, bang on 6. Bang on 6, he's up. That's the routine we want. Just like in his basic training days, he's more disciplined. Gotta be tough to survive in the apocalypse. Fight off all the zombies. Still needs a carpentry book. The last one before trying to get that last 2 levels of carpentry. Metalworking's not far behind. And foraging's pretty high as well. Our weight is still going up. I think it is coming close to a point where we would become overweight. But if he's only eating salads, I don't know what else he can do. So he finishes off his farming book. And grabs the last carpentry book. Can make a push for that to be the skill that we're going to be finishing off. Makes most sense. Carpentry is the thing that you use the most, with the boost from the TV shows in the beginning. It's naturally the one you would finish first, unless you're super focused on a certain playstyle or a situation where you're in. If you're right next to a river and you're fishing entirely to get your food, sure, you're probably going to get fishing long before you get carpentry. That's what's great about these kind of open games. You can play it how you want to, get as into it as you want to. Set your own goals. The only main thing is just survive. Don't get chomped. Which isn't exactly easy in itself. Once you're getting to the point where you can reliably survive for a month or 2, then you're pretty much there. You're going to have to take on bigger challenges, go further afield than you did before, or go to a busier town to spawn into. I've spawned into the other places once, each in the beginning, when I was terrified of the zombies and just running around in the night with the thunder and lightning, getting chased by all these zombies, not having a good time. Yeah, once I got into Riverside and kept spawning there over and over again until I understood the layout. Understood how to get away from the terrible situation of spawning in the trailer park. Before, I haven't hung around there. Spawning in the trailer park, it's like, right, immediately we're getting out of here. Making a beeline for the main town. It's pretty hard spawning there and finding enough loot and weapons and things to make a stand and clear the trailer park. So yeah, we're separating out our armory, creating walls because the lockers and containers need a wall to sit up against. They won't just sort of freestand back to back or anything. So yeah, we'll make a little room that's like a long corridor that backs on itself to get the most space for containers that we can fill up with all our weapons and ammunition and things, and try and separate them out. Try and figure out which ammunition goes with which firearm. Okay, and we'll go through our food, make sure we don't have anything that's going stale. Gonna have things that are in the freezer but still go stale. We've just got to check all our food containers. But we have got our fantastic composter. We haven't had rain in so long, we're having to water the plants. Usually the kind of thing that takes care of itself. Hopefully it will. Should be getting into rainier times. Be good when all our rain collectors are all full up. Yeah, we're slowly getting all the water out of those other two rain collectors. And when the rains do start, we can just dump all our empty cooking pots and things down here. We only need one if we're making a stew or soup out of ingredients that are going off and they're getting stale. Yeah, I'd love to somehow destroy this light because it's using up generator power. It's good that we've got an interesting light in the bar, but we can't move it to rearrange furniture better. And it's just an annoying drain. There's no way to sort of remove the bulb. There's also a street light that gets powered by the generator because it's close enough. So yeah, maybe place the generator in a different place next time around for the absolute perfect design. Far enough away from the other lights. But I think if you put it too far forward, it's going to power a light across the street or whatever. Don't know if there is a perfect place that you're not going to power any of the street lights, or that one that's sort of in the bar now. Yeah, as long as we keep it topped up. The gas station is pretty close, but it just sort of puts a limit on how far you can go. You can only go as far and then back again as the generator's gas is going to allow you, if you want to keep everything refrigerated and frozen. If we manage to work our way through enough of the food, then we could maybe move one of the freezers. Just leave it somewhere and not use it, so it didn't use up as much power. But with all the trapping and the farming, it's just going to be a cycle of adding more food in. I don't think we're really ever going to get through it all. But yeah, we want to stash everything like a good loot goblin anyway. Get all the shelves. We'll get all the non-perishable food that we're probably never going to get to. We'll stash it anyway. Yeah, with all the gas cans that we've got, I'm sure we'll get more. Do need more storage in here. More gas cans we've got. Less often we'll have to go to the gas station to fill them all up. Yeah, we can separate out all our things in these different sections. Keep each one looking different, with different types of containers that we'll use. So it's got some character. Try and get window fittings where we've got windows. We can use plaster on our wooden walls, I think, when we've completed a room. I think we need to put in a wooden floor, not just leave it as like the concrete, before it fully considers it a room to get you to do the plastering. It's a little bit awkward. Seems to let you plaster some and not others. Be very selective when it's going to work. Managed to drop half of our metal shelves. They just sort of bounce out of the trailer. I think that's got to do with the condition of the trailer or its tires or something. Why you seem to lose stuff when you're heavily burdened. Do a big loot run, you can hear a thunk of something falling out of the trailer when you're on the way back sometimes. You can't just go back and get it. We're going to get some friends for the bar. A couple of bar staff, a couple of patrons. Set them up in the bar. Make it look like a really extra fun place. And I'll get a fright every time we go into the bar and I think there's zombies in there. But it'll be worth it for poor Ramos's sanity. He needs some friends for his bar, even if they are just mannequins. Yeah, we can't miss opportunities to get the metal sheets. Reflexes of a cat. Yeah, as long as there's not loads of them, should be fine. As long as you're aiming in the right direction. Yeah, zoom in, make it easier on yourself. There's less chance of you being slightly off with where you're aiming if you're zoomed right in. So another big kitchen for us to disassemble. Don't think we need the metal containers. Just go ahead and disassemble some. So we'll think of more interesting places where we could pop them. Do you need sinks? Always need sinks. But yeah, I think we can use mainly just the wooden containers that we find in kitchens. It's normal houses. Yeah, we want to mix up containers, so we'll add one more here. Of course, for the sink and its own matching rain collector barrel. We're gonna have so much water when it eventually rains. And yeah, we can split up these long sections into other rooms. Like we've got this room on this corner, we can have one at the other side. So we can separate out all our loot. Got a nice window next to the door. So we need another window and then another window covering. It makes sense that you'd want to see out before opening the door to potential big horde of zombies waiting on the other side. Then after a while you're going to feel unsafe and want another layer. Because it's easier for them to get through the windows than anywhere else. We can't have them sort of looking like they're sitting on the stools. It's either the mannequin or the stool that's going to occupy that space. Yeah, we'll have to set up a few standing and then a few stools. Can maybe have another one of the tables or something from the bar down the road, or one of the other places. Like one of the circular tables or something. We could have a few more of these stools around. Or we could use some other seating, like the wooden chairs. Yeah, we'll get it set up. So it's a friendly looking place that gives you a little jump scare whenever you go there. And forget that you've put all the mannequins there. That's the way forward. One of the mannequins fell out of the trailer. Helpfully just standing up, letting us know they're there. So we've got 2 staff and 2 patrons. Yeah, there's more we can find. I'm sure there's 6 mannequins. There's maybe some more in another shop as well. We'll have to look out for the plushies as well. The different animals. I'm sure they can hang out in the bar as well. There's a few other things you can get. The dartboard and the pool table and a jukebox and a arcade machine and stuff. A few other options for decorating the base. But I do like the idea of having the instruments there. So there's going to be a band on. Don't think you can make the mannequins wear the instruments, otherwise that would be perfect. So we'll read our carpentry book until 10. Get some chocolate for rebaiting our mousetraps. Mousetraps don't break if you leave them unattended too long. It's just inefficient if you've got rodents waiting. So we'll get ourselves a triple day episode. Look at that, like clockwork, up at 6 again. Yeah, again, we've got to be careful of the weather. Hoping for rain. Don't want fog. Yeah, it's looking alright. Yeah, usually it's worse than this if it's going to get proper foggy. Yeah, you can tell these ones that are in red or ones that we need to replace with boards, otherwise we'll just fall straight through. You can use the walk to command, and it'll show you whether you can stand there or not. If you could walk in a straight line there, you know. The tiles that are highlighted in red, basically you're going to need to put a wooden floor down there. It might look as though you can stand on it, but you can't. You're just going to fall through the roof. Thankfully, most of the roof we can walk on, but there's just a few bits at the side that we're going to need to solidify if we want to wander around freely. Next floor up. Sometimes with the isometric view it can be confusing, the way the roofs go, exactly which tile you're on. Makes it all the more easier to fall off a roof, which is not the way you want to go. So yeah, we're doing our farming. Getting our max XP after we've read our book. Get things harvested, get them planted. Try and get them lined up with the walls. Again, we can have windows for the setting the rising sun to make it through. If it goes long enough that the temperature starts falling close to 0 to protect our crops, we can slap a roof on and turn it into an indoor garden, or part of it. You can grow things inside if you've got the soil essentially and you're watering it. It's just a lot slower going. So yeah, we'll go chopping down some trees nearby. Work on this lovely roof. Yeah, a good chunk of it done, but yeah, takes up a lot of time and effort to go chopping down the trees and breaks his poor back, dragging the logs back. And you're going through the nails. But thankfully just the wooden floor, which we're using for roofing, it's just one plank at a time. So we do get quite a lot for the logs that we're chopping down. More seed-bearing crops. Harvest. And get more seeds to keep going. Use the XP boost to get a level up. A lot sooner than we would have if we didn't read the book. Do a little tidying up as well. Move these little tufts of grass. Just keep this one little section that we've got walled in nice and tidy. Sort out our generator. Keep it topped up. Treat him to some fresh broccoli. He's leveled off at 84. Hopefully he can go back down again a couple of kilos. Yeah, when we're replanting, I want to get these things all lined up. So there's just one space from where the window's going to be. It'll all make sense. The original rows that I put in were too close to the base itself. So get that realigned as we go. Yeah, you should stagger sowing the seeds and getting them watered and everything, so that you're not getting everything at once. Would make more sense to harvest one single plot of crops, one single square, once every few days. That would keep you going with a steady stream, rather than getting 50 broccolis at once and having to stash them somewhere. And foraging our way over to our site where we're setting our traps. There's another clearing here that we could just put down more traps. This trap box that we can pop down. It'll probably be more effective than our snare traps. We've certainly got the crops nice and fresh to tempt them in. Yeah, trading vegetables for meat is a good trade in the apocalypse. More useful to you, I think. Good rabbit stew is gonna fuel you for fighting zombies better than just a random cabbage. I want to Get all these metal shelves. I do want to disassemble metal items, but I do love these shelves. They go in most locations, you know. Pretty much put them anywhere. They don't look out of place. Just good storage. Again, we'll take all this non-perishable food. Will we ever need it? Probably not. Got metal bars. Just one metal sheet. Disappointing. Yeah, I think the dumpsters and the wrecked cars, I think, are the best sources. Bathtubs are alright as well. Don't know the exact numbers. Loads of toys here, but not the ones we want. There are sort of named animals, plushies. That's something to collect. Make sure to get one of each of them. Can't get a Spiffo the raccoon. And Jacques the beaver and stuff. There's a few different ones. Yeah, we want more lockers and stuff, but not if we destroy them. Even with our level 8 carpentry skill, there's still a chance we're going to destroy stuff, try to pick it up. Thankfully there's loads and loads of lockers in the school, so we'll have plenty of shots of picking them up. Can't pick things up if they have items in the container, or dismantle them. So we'll go through any containers, we'll have a look inside them. Lunchbox, we've got a couple of non-perishable things. We yoink them. I'm sure there are still zombies in here. Do want to be cautious. Yeah, it's easy to break a few, we'll be fine. Use them more than other ones, since there is an abundance of them. I'm sure we'll find more of the big, solid, chunky metal ones. Find them in garages quite often. Read some more of our book. All the better for dismantling with. Boost you do before you do the work, the better. Still got plenty more railings, plenty more roofing, plenty more probably wall frames that we're going to have to make just in building the base. That'll get us more carpentry XP. Even if we're not going into homes all the time and disassembling the beds and things. As I say, if we go a little bit further afield to go and get our logs, a little bit away from the base to leave a little bit of natural cover, that'll be fine. We can chop down trees. You can get a little bit of carpentry experience for sawing the logs. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get there just in more base building. There are a few more places to go. We can go through the hotel if we want to disassemble beds to get us over the line. I think we'll just naturally get there. Not in a particular rush. We'll just get these things done when we get them done. Rushing can be your downfall. Slow and steady wins the race. Survival is the name of the game. Get him to read for a bit. He's a bit tired. Gonna give him a coffee. See if it perks him up a bit. See if he can get out for another scoot outside without fearing that he's gonna be underpowered against any potential threats. Yeah, that sorted him out. Probably not for long. You've got to be fairly quick when you see the tiredness come on. Get out the vitamins or to get a coffee. Yeah, I want to come out for another bit of raiding. Want all our shelving to sort of match as we can as we go around. Sort of other side of the base from our kitchen. More places for shelves there. Movie posters. Clock. Good decorations. Take the popcorn machine. Don't think it's functional, but okay, we can have that in the bar or in our kitchen. So we're getting all these sections covered up. Once we get things in them, all of the walls should be impenetrable. Once everything's covered up, they shouldn't be able to get through the windows. And have the curtains open, let light into the base, and feel safe. I think we do need to put stuff in the shelves. We do have plenty of loot, and more loot to come. Just got to separate it all out. Make it make sense in different sections and containers. It's bad for having to use the water cooler to get water. Yeah, we certainly could do with rain. Yeah, I'm sure it won't be long. Canal was run to houses that we haven't disassembled their kitchen yet. Get some water out of their taps. Like I say, it shouldn't be long before the rain starts to come. Rainier days. Yeah, as time goes on and the seasons change, more likely to have the misty mornings, and rainier days. Some days it'll rain all day. Good day for reading. Back into that high street shop. Just picking up more stuff. We can fill out some more of these containers. Just get all the shelving. Separate out some more of our loot. Make the base a bit more tidy and organized. Yeah, in a pinch, you can always use the garbage bag as a secondary. Make less trips. Save it going into your main inventory. So yeah, we'll keep stealing stuff, disassembling stuff, Getting building materials. Working on our base. Trying to be smart about how we consume all the food. As I say, there's still more places to go adventuring. More places to thoroughly go to. We can go back to a few places that we just skimmed if we need any extra stuff. Yeah, we're getting there. Going at our own pace. Got another bit that I forgot to crop. A lot of editing goes into these videos, you don't know. But yeah, he's made it to 10. He's ready to take on the world after a little snooze. We'll come back next time, pick up where we left off from. Till then, do take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.